You're still watching Business Live. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, still has the power to vary the threshold of applying the tax to electronic transfers, whose implementation begins from the 1st of May. Now, this was captured in a recent notice released by the Ghana Revenue Authority on the implementation of the e-levy. George Riafi has more.
This was highlighted as part of the notice that the Ghana Revenue Authority sought to explain to the public that transfers coming from an individual's bank account will be subjected to a threshold that will be taxed, but determined by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. For some, this may come across as a big relief, especially for those that are pushing for the 100 Ghana cedis that will be excused from the tax should be up to 200 Ghana cedis. It is not clear for now whether the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, may want to review this threshold or wait and see how the tax will perform. The Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. John Kuma, has announced that government has revised its expected revenue from the levy by the end of this year to 4.5 billion Ghana cedis, from the initial 7 billion Ghana cedis. The Ghana Revenue Authority has also announced that the tax will take off from the beginning of next month and to charge 1.5% of the electronic transfer done at each time. It will also cover transfers from bank accounts to mobile money accounts, as well as mobile money transfers done between accounts on the same electronic money issue.
Still on e-levy, we're joined by the Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe. Doc, grateful that you could join us. How prepared are the telecom operators for the full implementation of the e-levy?
Well, I think it's a work in progress. Before the law was passed, the stakeholders were engaging with GRA, preparing so that when the law is passed, then we would be ready. And so since the passage of the law, the engagements have continued. We've met with the ministry. There was a workshop done on Thursday with all stakeholders, not just the EMIs, but also the banks and the fintechs and all of that. And after that workshop, there have also been individual meetings with the technical teams to be able to work on the process to ensure that we are able to deliver the project.
I believe there may be some existing challenges that you'd want to address before the entire levy is passed, from the 1st of May. Walk us through some of them.
Well, at this stage, for anybody who's working on a project, what you do is that you discuss your issues at the project, not really in the media. So I would rather we spend a lot of the conversations at the project table with the technical people, trying to find out ways, get the requirements right, get our vendors to be able to do the various developments that have to be done in order to be able to do this. This is purely an engineering and a project management project, and we'll try and work within the constraint to ensure that we are able to deliver the project.
The
responsibility lies on both sides. So we, as charging entities, have responsibilities, but the GRA also has some development that they're doing. There's a common platform that is going to be used to be able to do that. And so we will do our bit, and we are also very hopeful that the GRA would also do its bit to be able to deliver this. All
right, briefly, there are concerns about a possible contrition rate of close to 20 to 30% when the e-levy gets into shape. The players within the telecom industry actually worried that this levy will indeed impact negatively on the use of mobile money in the country.
Well, you see, so when the levy was announced in Parliament, you realize that we had mentioned the fact that there had been no engagement. And so post that, there's been a lot of engagement that have happened. We had issued a paper to the ministry, to Parliament, and we definitely, we've not lost sight of the fact that there could be unintended consequences. So our whole posture is, what do we do to ensure that, we can mitigate those unintended consequences? You have the examples of what happened in countries like Uganda, Tanzania, in other places where, this kind of taxation has been passed. and we know how the impact has been. So government has taken some of the suggestions, recommendations we have made. Not all of them have been taken.
What were some of the recommendations? What were some of the recommendations?
So, well, definitely the reduction in the rate was some of them. The issues of merchants. Merchant payments was also one of them. We thought that merchant payments were in the nascent stages, and this was not the time to also be applying the levies on that, and government could rather use that to rake in a lot more revenues. That was taking. We also, some of the issues that we raised were the issues of the cap. The industry itself operates on the cap. So once you're sending money to somebody beyond 1,000 cedis for MTN and Airtel Tigo money, who charge, the charge is fixed at 10 cedis. And so one of the recommendations we have been pushing to government was to also put a cap on the levy so far as that is concerned. We noticed in the final bill that was passed into law that there's no cap for mobile money, but we've seen that there's a cap. The minister has the right to introduce the cap.
Yes, of which we have done a report to that. But Mr. Chigbe, in just under a minute, if you can, help us understand how you are prepping yourself up for a possible contrition rate should the e-levy come to force on the 1st of May.
Well, so a lot of things. So you notice that some of our members sometime last year, looking at all of that, did a reduction of 0.25%. And then also in the engagements that we're doing with the ministry and with GRA, some of the things that, the possible pitfalls that we are seeing, we're bringing them to the fore, and we're hoping that these engagements would lead to us being able to mitigate that.
Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, we're grateful that you could join us on this matter. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, they're ending business live.